So we met in Los Angeles, and we were coming home for holidays, and we were looking for a place to move to, and we looked at a couple of properties and things didn't work out. We found our way to Crooked Creek Winery, and the whole family came. We did a wine tasting, and I asked a lot of questions, and the gentleman that was here that originally started Crooked Creek Winery, the Romero family, he said, "You're asking a lot of questions, why don't you buy this place?" And so a couple days later we came back and toured the house and decided that we would take a leap of faith and move from California to Southern Illinois and jump into winemaking. Neither one of us had ever made wine before, but a lot of our relationship was spent at wineries in California, and we went on our honeymoon in Italy to a winery, and so we had tasted a lot of wine and had a love for wine, and so it was pretty exciting to have the idea of having a winery and starting to make wine. So we jumped right in the first year and started making wine, and it's been about 10 years now that we've been here, and this will be our 10th vintage.
The support really is what motivates us, because it can get hard on a day-to-day basis to run a winery. But seeing the smiles on people's faces, the enjoyment that they get, has been something that really motivates us.
When you come out to Crooked Creek Winery, the original location, it's also a working horse farm. So you get to see baby horses born every spring, and they're kind of roaming the pastures surrounding the wine tasting experience. It's also a really quaint, simple tasting room environment where there's usually somewhere between 4 to 8 people, and you really get an intimate experience of tasting the wines with the tasting room attendant, and you get to ask a lot of questions, or maybe even get a little bit of a tour into the back, into the winemaking area. So some of my favorite wine tasting experiences were the ones that the winemaker was there and he was working, and you got to go in and ask a lot of questions, and we kind of have that similar experience here. Different from the downtown that really focuses on what you would see in a bigger city. Lots of craft beer varieties to choose from, lots of different wines, not just Crooked Creek wines, but other select wines that we like from around the world, as well as some really nicely handcrafted cocktails that make the experience a lot of fun. There are a large portion of wine drinkers in Southern Illinois that like a sweeter style of wine. So we definitely make those style of wines, and we make some fruit wines in the Buckaroo label. But coming in, we wanted to make drier wines that we had enjoyed in different parts of the world. We were fortunate enough to drink lots of different nice wines from different areas, and one of my favorite wine regions is Italy. And so we try to make our Chambourcin Reserve in that old world style. It's aged for 2 years in French oak barrels, and it's got that rustic, sort of old world, dry, tannic style that sort of mimics some of our favorite wines from Italy.
In 2023, we launched Farm Stand 161 at Crooked Creek Winery, and people for so long had been asking for food, and I will speak for Shannon, where his love language really is food. Not so much mine. If he's cooking, it usually means that I'm cleaning. But we finally got to kind of foray into food, and it's been a really great experience. It's been really well received. We try to make from scratch what we can, and we're in the process of actually planting a garden. So farm to table is sort of the inspiration, and we've taken a lot of inspiration both for the winery and for the food from experiences in our lives. We love how wine brings people together, and food kind of does the same thing. So gathering around a table, I think some of our greatest memories have been around a table with people with good food and wine.
We get a lot of positive feedback. We've got a lot of really great regular customers that come to enjoy themselves, but also participate in things like wine school and get to learn and expand their palates on what they like to drink. So they've allowed us to try to bring some of our experiences from outside of Centralia to Centralia and embrace those, but they've also let us know what they like and what they want to see, and so we've tried to listen to that too and bring different types of offerings. I think the Illinois Made recognition was really important, because when I read a little bit more into it, it was about being authentic, and I think that's a core value of how we operate here. And I think there was a humility to what we were doing. We were just sort of making the best quality wine that we could make for our friends and family and our community. So to be recognized more on a state level for having an authentic product that the state of Illinois can be proud of, I think was really significant for me.
You can find both Crooked Creek Winery and Crooked Creek Winery Downtown on Facebook and on Instagram. We also have been expanding our website, crookedcreekwinery.com, and we just started farmstand161.com, which has a full menu of our food offerings too.